My name is Roger with VistaWP, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to get started with the VistaWP plugin. So first, a brief overview of how the plugin works. The plugin connects your MLS IDX feed to your website, but it does so a little bit differently. Here is a demo site using the plugin. If I go to one of the listings pages, we have all of our listings here. This is all dummy data, and the plugin will work with dummy data as soon as you install it. So these are all fake listings. If I click on one of these, it shows all of the information from this listing. What makes Vista a little bit different is that this isn't actually using a template that we design. What we did was we actually break up all of the data points into a different shortcode. So if I edit this page is built with Elementor, which is the page builder that we recommend using. You'll see that each one of these data points in a listing is handled by a shortcode. So the reason that we did this is because we wanted to design the way that the listings look ourselves. We didn't want to rely on a simple template from another website or another designer. We really wanted to use the page builder so that we could build a unique looking website that uses all of the data points from the MLS. If we go back to the results page, you'll see that this page is also using shortcodes for each one of the data points here. So it's actually a page built in Elementor, and it uses specific shortcodes for each one of these data points. What this does is it gives you complete freedom over the design, and we have a few templates in place to get you started. In fact, if you want this template, this is an Elementor site kit, we will be happy to email it to you so you can tear it apart, repurpose it for your own, whatever you want to do. All right, let's jump over to installing the plugin. Here I have a brand new WordPress install. I have not done a thing to this WordPress website. I've simply installed I've simply set up a new WordPress install on my host. If we go over to the plugins, there are 0 plugins. If we go to the pages, there's only one sample page. And as far as the themes go, we've got kind of the stock themes here, and we're using the 2024 theme. I'm going to walk you through really quickly how to get this up and running. The first thing you need to do is you need to go to your settings, to your permalinks, and you need to make sure that you're using the post name permalink structure. The way the plugin's set up is it wants to use the name of the page in the permalinks. By default, WordPress will use this weird page ID thing. This is much better for a lot of reasons. So just make sure that you go into settings, permalinks, post name. Once you select that, you can hit save changes and you should be good to go. Then we're going to bump over to the plugins, and we're going to come up here to add new plugin. Here we're going to search for VistaWP. I'm going to install this and activate it. We'll get a success message here. Let's go over to the settings page. We've got a really basic tutorial here for you to get started. And then on this page here is where you'd put in your license. It will work with dummy data right out of the box, so you can start building your website using fake data from day one, which is fantastic. The day that you're ready to connect it with your MLS, you'll need a subscription, and you'll also need to get in touch with us so that we can coordinate with your MLS to set up that data agreement and that IDX feed. For the time being, we're just going to work with the dummy data. Here's a video, this video actually. The first thing that we need to do is we need to create the pages. So looking at our demo site, we've got a number of pages here. There's sort of 3 layers to this. We have the search form, which you can find on the home page. Okay, there's a search form. Once you put in the search form, it redirects to a listings page, which you can see in the URL here. This is where it's going to show our search results or all of our listings. And then from each one of these, you're going to have an individual property page, and this one is going to be called individual listing. You can change these if you want, but for the sake of this demo, this is what we're using, and these are the way that it works out of the box. So we've got the search form, the results page, and the individual listing page. Now let's go over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to generate these two pages, the listings page and the individual listings page. So I'm going to click this button. I'm going to get a success message up here. The pages were generated. Let's go view the pages. It's just going to take us to our pages, our list of pages, and we can see here that it created a listings page and an individual listings page. Let's look at each one of these. These are really simple to begin with. It's just a page with the necessary shortcodes that you need to actually show information. Now you can take these shortcodes and you can move them into your page builder, create any design layout that you want. But we started with just showing this. Now if I go view this page, you can see here that it's just showing the dummy listing data using that design layout. So it just gets you going right away with data so that you can see how things are working. Now, if we go back to our list of pages, we also see the individual listing here. Let's check this one out. This one also has a series of shortcodes that show the data for an individual listing. If I view this, if I view it like this, it's actually not going to work. Because it doesn't have what property it should be feeding here. We should be seeing a URL parameter up here that has the property that it should be loading. If I go from our listings page, if I click this link view listing, it will load the same page, but notice here that I have this URL parameter. We need that in the browser in order for the shortcodes to actually work. So if I remove this and hit load, it's going to give me some errors. If I put it back, it's going to load the property. So whatever this number is going to be what property is shown here. And that's essentially it. So you can move these around. You can move around these shortcodes however you wish in your page builder, and there's actually a lot more shortcodes. If you go to our documentation, there's a whole number of shortcodes available. These all talk about the search form. These are all of the shortcodes available for each individual listing with how the shortcode should be built and then what a potential result would look like. The next step is we need to put in our search form. We have 3 search forms for you. There's a basic one, an advanced one, and then a super basic one, which is just one field where they search the city or zip code. So let's do this first one. I'm going to copy this shortcode, and let's go back to our pages, and we're going to put this in the sample page here. So we can just insert this into any shortcode compatible builder. You can use the Gutenberg builder, you can use Elementor, you can use Divi, whatever you want. We're just going to put in the shortcode. Notice it has this parameter here called dest, and it has our listings URL. This is short for destination. So you want to tell the search form which page it needs to direct to see all of the listings. Let's update that. Okay, now you can see we have a really basic form in here. It will inherit the styling from your theme, but you may also need to give it a little bit of styling with CSS, and very soon we're going to be working on an updated design that will look a little bit better. If I hit submit, it will redirect to the listings page. Notice here this listings, and I have my URL parameters here to filter my listings accordingly. And that's it. Once you do those things, you set up your search form and you generate the pages, you're all set to start building with VistaWP and dummy data right away. One important note is on the settings page, if you click this again, it will keep generating pages. So now if we go back to our pages, you'll see that it just regenerates listings pages. And if you look at them, you'll see that it has a different slug. Okay. Now the reason why this slug is important, and the reason why the search form has this slug in it, is if you wanted to build a community-specific search form or a community-specific page template, you could change this to that. You could build the page for that specific community or area in your city, and then you would change this slug, so whenever the search form, it would go to that page and show the results on that page. So it's actually a really powerful tool. But just make sure when you're setting it up for the first time that your destination matches the slug of where you're actually showing your listings, which would be here. Again, if you want this site kit, this is a whole Elementor site kit ready to go with all of the shortcodes and everything in place already. We highly recommend starting with this. Just send us an email and we can email it to you for free. And if you need help, we do have some documentation here, and you can also send us a message if you have any questions at all. We're definitely here to help. Thank you.